Hey, what's up guys? It's Captain Pete here. Hey, we're here on the dock at Hook One Bait and Tackle. I love when we can come out here and do some segments, get out of the studio a little bit. We're going to be talking about picking out the right rod for vertical jigging. Vertical jigging is my favorite way to fish. I've absolutely loved it. I've been doing it since me and Cody could get out in a 14-foot flat bottom out there and run away from the freighter waves. So jigging is something that's really important to me. It's really special to me. And personally, it's my favorite way to get on fish. So that's a huge question we get here in the shop. We have a lot of people coming in asking questions, what kind of jigging rod do I need? Because a lot of people, they're looking for medium fast, medium extra fast, medium heavy extra fast. And I think there's a really big stigma on that stuff, and we kind of got to push that off to the side, because a lot of these rod companies here, all these rods here are rods that we carry right here in the shop. We've got some Fenwicks, some Daiwas, Fox River, Okuma, St. Croix. Obviously we've got some Mags custom rods in here. So I think a lot of the times when people are looking for a rod and they're looking for that medium heavy, extra fast, those are just a lot of buzzwords that you notice. I think a big thing you need to pay attention to is how the rod's built, where the rod bends, and how it feels with a jig on it. So that's number one, right, is how this rod feels in your hands. It doesn't matter if it's a $70 Fenwick Eagle or if it's a $220 custom. All these rods are going to feel different in your hands. They're all built differently. They're all designed differently. You can see it here just by the look of the blanks, the look of the handles. And it's a lot. You're going to get into vertical jigging, and you're looking at spending a lot of money, and you're looking at using a rod that's really not practical anywhere else in the country. You're looking at something that's close to 6 foot, maybe under 6 foot. You're looking at something, again, medium to medium heavy, fast to extra fast, depending how the rods act. So for example, we've got a Mags here in our hand right now. These are what we run on the charter boats. We're super happy with them. These rods here are a medium fast action rod. This one here is a 6'2", and you'll be able to see with the bend on this where this rod bends. You can see this rod has a great bend if it was to be sitting vertical under the boat. This rod's designed to fish vertical under the boat. You can see the bend, you can see the line sitting off the rod, but you've still got enough stiffness here on the tip to where you can get in some killer hook sets. And I'll show you kind of the difference. So again, this is like the medium fast action, whereas maybe you grab one of our Okumas here. This is the Deadeye Pro from Okuma here. This one is a 6 foot medium heavy extra fast. So now you're going to grab the tip here and bend it. You're still seeing that same bend. Now this rod's a little bit stiffer here on the tip. It's also stiffer up here. This is where that medium heavy is going to get you. It's a lot stiffer right up here. I guess you'd say like the top quarter of the rod is a lot stiffer. So you get a little bit less line bend, but you still get a really good bend to it. And then you might look at something a little bit different. Say you look at, a 6'3". This is the Fox River here. This is a medium, but an extra fast. So now we've seen medium fast, you've seen medium heavy extra fast. Now this is going to be a medium extra fast. So this rod here is going to have a really good bend to it. But what it is now is, because it's the medium, you're going to have that good bend coming all right in here with that medium. When it's down though, you're going to notice at the tip, it's hard to tell on camera, but the tip here is going to be a little bit stiffer, and that's what's going to make it your extra fast. Is this tip is going to whip right in. The reason you want something that's fast or extra fast is to get those hook sets in and stick them on the fish. That's why you want the fast or extra fast. It's all about the tip and the hook set. Then you start talking about medium heavy, and you're going to start talking about the bend in the rod and the way that goes. So it's definitely something to think about when you're jigging, or when you're looking at getting a new jig rod. The other thing that you want to be looking at is to make sure that the weight of the jig isn't going to pull down the rod tip. So for example here, notice that when this jig's hanging here, you see how the rod tip isn't moving? You've still got a lot of control with the rod tip. If you have a jig on here, so if you're jigging a 1 ounce or 3/4 ounce jig, and your rod tip is bending here, or when you go to bring your jig up off the ground, if you notice that there's a delay here, that is going to kill you on your hook sets. if your rod and your rod tip isn't directly in tune with what you've got going on, when you go to set that hook, you don't want any delay in time before that hook sticks to a fish. You want that hook to drive right into the fish's mouth, and it's an instant hookup. So that's why you really want to make sure when there's a jig or when there's a bait on your rod, you want to make sure that it's still stiff, it's still taut, that you can still have control over that rod. Now guys, I know we touched on a lot of things. There's honestly a lot to cover when it comes to selecting a rod. No matter whether you walk into a Cabela's or a Bass Pro, or you walk into one of us, one of these smaller local bait shops, we're gonna have everything you need. So what you need to do is find out what's comfortable for you. I cannot emphasize that enough, guys. Confidence is key when you're fishing. So if you grab, like I said, if you grab, say, one of these $70 Fenwicks, or you grab a, what do we got here? The Daiwas, this $100 Daiwa RG. These are great rods. If you grab one of these in your hand and they're comfy, they're super nice. Otherwise, you can come into the store and see a lot of the rods on the higher end. Like we've got the Mags Customs here. These are retailing right now for $189. We also carry the St. Croix Legend Tournaments. Those retail for about $260. That's a super, super nice rod from St. Croix. Very well built, very light, and super sensitive. You're gonna want that sensitivity, guys, out while you're vertical jigging. So we'll do another segment on this. Guys, if you have any questions or any concerns, please drop them down in the comments below. I know we don't have a ton of time to sit here and talk about it, so if you've got any questions, let us know. We just really went over the spinning rods today. We could open a whole nother can of worms and start talking about bait casting rods and what makes bait casting rods so good for jigging, but I think we're gonna save that for another segment. So we can really get into the nitty gritty of, you know, the difference between a spinning rod and a casting rod. But again, guys, if you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comments. Feel free to reach out to us. You can head over to our website. You can send us a message. You can send us a direct message on Instagram or Facebook. And other than that, y'all, please let us know what else you want to hear from the shop. Let us know what else you want to know. If there's any other information that you want to pick up on, and keep doing an awesome job subscribing and sharing, guys. We can't thank you guys enough. We're taking this YouTube to the moon. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot of water to cover. So stay with us, stay tuned. I hope this helps you guys out. We're heading to the fall bite. We're gonna have an awesome vertical jig bite coming up here, guys. So stay tuned and tight lines.